Sorry, not sorry, China. The Pentagon sent 2 U.S. ships through the Taiwan Strait, a move that might amp up already tense U.S.-China relations. On Monday, the USS Curtis Wilbur and the USS Antietam conducted a routine transit through the Taiwan Strait to demonstrate U.S. commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. The 2 U.S. Navy warships reportedly sailed from south to north through the 110-mile waterway that separates Taiwan from China. U.S. defense officials say multiple Chinese warships followed the vessels during the transit, but kept at a safe distance. America's show of force comes amidst an ongoing trade war with Beijing, as well as tensions between the two countries over China's militarization of the South China Sea. Late last month, a U.S. guided missile destroyer passing near the Spratlys had to maneuver to avoid colliding with a Chinese ship that came within 45 yards of its bow. China is unhappy with American support of Taiwan, in particular, a $330 million arms sale package to the island nation. While the U.S. officially adheres to Beijing's One China policy, the Trump administration has sought to forge closer ties with Taiwan. Taiwan #1.
Kawaii doll-looking worker brings chaos to Taiwanese McDonald's. Men are beginning to line up in front of a McDonald's in Taiwan like never before. Not for a burger, but for Weiwei. Nope, Weiwei isn't a translation of some menu item, but instead the person in charge of the menus. The young employee pretty much looks like a porcelain doll, has big eyes and clear, smooth skin. She's petite and her beauty meets the Asian standards of a kawaii, or cute girl, down to a T. Because of her looks, photos of her have collected more than 87,000 likes on Facebook, and she's slowly becoming a bit of a minor celebrity in Taiwan. But let's not kid ourselves, Weiwei isn't all that extraordinary, and it's actually quite common for McDonald's and businesses in Taiwan to harness the cuteness of female employees to attract customers. Sometimes employees are even asked to literally dress up like dolls. Case in point. If this doesn't reflect the beauty standards of most men in Asia, it certainly has something to say about what the market thinks is perceived as attractive, a childlike, adorable, innocent-looking girl. A kind of beauty that, based on the comments netizens have been posting next to photos of Weiwei, seems to be perceived very differently by Western men. Yet, plenty of expats in Asia are also going specifically, if not only, for women who are either adorable little kawaii girls or geisha-like sexual objects. Is this attraction based on a chauvinist need to infantilize and disenfranchise a woman of her right to be perceived as a mature, independent, respected individual? Probably. But Weiwei, who keeps posting selfies to her social media accounts and has appeared on several Taiwanese TV programs, doesn't really seem to care.
Underwater aliens? Scientists recently discovered a rare species of shark that resembled aliens off the coast of Taiwan. Scientists from Taiwan's Fisheries Research Institute caught 5 of the mysterious creature off the coast of Taidong County's Donghe Township. First identified off the coast of Japan in 1986, viper sharks, or Trichognathus cabeyei, have only been found off the coast of Japan, Hawaii, and Taiwan. Its Latin name refers to the shark's triangular forward-extending jaws and glowing markings on the shark's body. It isn't known if the markings are meant for communication or for attracting prey.
Why is Trump's phone call with Taiwan such a big deal? U.S. President-elect Donald Trump took one phone call from Taiwan, and everybody lost their minds. But why? Civil war that broke out in China in 1927 involved communist revolutionaries led by Mao Zedong and the nationalist government. The nationalists, who were defeated in 1949, fled to Taiwan, where they hoped to retake the mainland. Fighting eventually ceased, with the two sides being ruled separately. However, both sides continued to claim rightful rule over all of China. Communist-ruled China has maintained that Taiwan is a breakaway province, and that the two sides must eventually unify. The Taiwan-based government at the time declared mainland China was being controlled by illegitimate communist rebels. To this day, Taiwan is formally known as the Republic of China, while mainland China is officially the People's Republic of China. For decades, the United States and its allies recognized the government in Taiwan as China's rightful rulers, with Taiwan officials claiming China's seat at the United Nations. However, the U.S. eventually switched recognition from Taiwan's government to Beijing in 1979, and many other countries followed suit. Today, Taiwan is a democratic sovereignty, where most of its citizens say they will not surrender their freedoms to unify with the mainland. However, Taiwan is also unable to formally declare independence, as China has threatened such a move with military force. China is also concerned that an independent Taiwan would create a precedent for other regions, such as Tibet, to more vigorously push for separatism. China has made convincing threats. It conducted missile exercises in 1996, when Taiwan held its first direct presidential elections. The move was aimed at keeping people from voting for Li Denghui, who has advocated Taiwan's separate status from China. Despite the intimidation tactic, Taiwan saw a 76% voter turnout, and Li was elected with a 54% majority. Although tension between the two sides continue, Taiwan and China have increased cooperation over the years in the forms of postal, trade, and transportation links. Since the controversy surrounding Taiwan made headlines, members of the American public have questioned why the U.S. sells military equipment to Taiwan if it will not formally recognize Taiwan as a sovereign nation. The U.S. passed a law requiring the government to provide Taiwan with defensive weapons in case of potential aggression from China. However, to maintain the status quo, the U.S. has at the same time maintained that its official policy does not support an independent Taiwan. To keep the peace, the U.S. has retained an ambiguous position of keeping close relations to Taiwan while refusing to recognize its independence. Trump's phone conversation with Taiwan's president was a shock to China, as taking her call alongside other foreign leaders could be seen as the U.S.'s nod to Taiwan's sovereign status. However, whether one phone call signals an actual shift in U.S. policy remains to be seen.
Iron Man suit built by fanboy and dance instructor in Taiwan. 28-year-old Wu Yuting worked together with his friend Guo Wensheng to construct a replica of Tony Stark's Iron Man suit from the popular comic book and Marvel superhero films. It took the pair about 8 weeks to create the suit, which cost them the equivalent of about $164 in materials. The suit is mostly made of polyester putty, but also includes LED lights on the palms, chest, and helmet. Wu is a dance instructor in the city of Tainan, and he wears the suit in public to practice his dance moves. Pictured here, Wu breaks it down at the local train station for onlookers and passers-by. It's not every day you get to see Iron Man getting jiggy with it. This proves that the man really does make the suit.
Waitress fired for thinking Taiwan is a country. 2 Taiwanese waitresses got their employment nullified after failing to satisfy their Chinese boss's belief that Taiwan is a part of China. And in the opinion of most of the inhabitants of the self-ruling democratic island, it's not. According to the New York Times, Man Shu-tuan was asked by her boss if Taiwan was part of China. She said no and was later fired. Ya Tingying also crushed her boss's national spirit when she told a customer she was Taiwanese. Ying, too, was fired. Did this happen in Beijing? No. It took place in Sydney, in the land down under. So those Aussie discrimination laws have got the ladies' backs, right? We wouldn't hold our breath. But hey, here's a question for the Aussies to ponder. How long until China considers Australia to be part of the South China Sea? Taiwan's getting some anti-tank missiles. Taiwan's reportedly getting some tank buster missiles. According to the Taipei Times, Taiwan has agreed to buy TOW-2B Arrow RF anti-tank missiles from the U.S. Unlike its 2A counterpart, the 2B can be operated wirelessly. The missiles will reportedly be deployed on Taiwan and its surrounding islands. Unlike a rocket-propelled grenade, the TOW-2B projectile doesn't fly directly at the target. It has a range of 4.5 kilometers. The 2B missile contains flyover shoot-down warheads. The missile detonates over a tank and sends the ordnance downwards to the roof. The roof of a tank is where armor is usually weaker and more vulnerable to attack. The deal will reportedly see the U.S. supply Taiwan with the missiles on a yearly basis from 2018 until 2024. The agreement is part of a $1.83 billion arms sales package that Taiwan negotiated with the Obama administration in late 2015.